I thought he suspected Wood's position. Instead, he's tucking in for the late round play. Lurk coming through from Benji. Fishy caught by Durka. Good read from him. And now this is where Leo starts to step forward, making his way towards that door. Plant being the fuse rather being tapped. It's being seen that that's not being stuck. Good kill for Rienz. Follow up is there as well. Trading over the weapons so he doesn't have to reload. He can defend right here and now. 3 kills already. Durka trapped in the corner, but no info for Rienz. He had to clear every angle. He didn't pick the right one to start with. Fnatic pick up that round, but it's a damn costly one.
Yeah, no, that's a really good bonus. Like, that was a couple of pistols, still a couple of bulldogs. I think it was only the rifle really that they picked up on Woot that was actually anything of real value, and they managed to drop 4 players while they do it. So although Heretics lose the round, I don't think they're going to be too unhappy with that one. They now come in with Rienz on a Hunter's Fury, Neural Theft available as well, and only a couple away from having the null command. So this is not a bad spot for Heretics to be in whatsoever. They just now need to capitalize on the round, and that Viper's Pit is still there. Boast didn't use it just as a bolster to economy. He wants it for this round.
Careful here.
I think it's a better call. See a lot of Vandals considering a pit in play. Might not be the A plan. It's a little bit of a backup. I expect some shorties in the back pockets too if the credits allow. It seems like they do. Good flash for Woot, and he's through for one. Getting out could be difficult. The spams are going after him. He's down to 45. Miniboo picking up Alpha though, who tried to fill in that little bit of extra space, assuming it was a heavy play towards the mid angle, which it had been before. We saw a lot of Heretics focused up there, but they were ready for that A play. And now the numbers thinned out down to 3. That Viper's Pit looks pretty tempting, if you ask me.
It's just whether or not Boast is actually going to be able to get him to position. He's so far away from the rest. Well, they do look to build into this B side, but just look at the rotation. 2 players are already into that back corner while also having the Cypher set up. Like, this is everything and more that Heretics could need to defend this. I feel like Chronicle's going to have to hit some crazy shots, and well, that's not what he was looking for. It may even just have to be a save now for the side of Fnatic, because going into a 2v5, okay, we've seen a fair few of them won, but it would be pretty optimistic.
Well, really, it's the fact that there's no flashes, right? There's no way to get through these angles. Like, if you can get that Viper's Pit in play, maybe you could even get it done in the 3v5. The 2v5, it's tougher and no way to get into position to put the Viper's Pit in. Yeah, saving is the right call. There's a decoy put through on B, but no further signs of aggression from Heretics, who are happy to allow Fnatic to carry these weapons forward. Of course, it's not like anyone on Heretics really wants to be in a position where they have to buy something in the next round. Credits are pretty low, and this is a good money maker round. It's also a good lead extension, because now they're up 3-1.
I like this. Again, just the early aggression coming out. The pop flashes. This was something that Fnatic struggled with when they came up against GX as well, was just these mid-pressure plays where they have pop flashes to just send it through and then just look to try and hold on to the ground. And the thing I like about Heretics is they're very happy to just take that advantage and leave. They're not going to overcommit, they're not going to overface, they're not going to risk too much and allow Fnatic back into the round. Both players take that initial fight and then they're gone. And well, for Fnatic, this round's going to be all about heroes. Can Durka or Leo put up enough numbers to pad the gaps? Get them into a late round, that Viper's Pit still there.
Could be one of those games where we end up saying that for quite a while. I can feel it coming. Round 5, aggression good. Stocked up right at this trap, and I'm guessing it's going to be broken any second now for a wide swing. Rien's the one that would be in danger from it, but he's already spotted it.
Look at the wall cup.
Taking a lot of damage. And the push-up from Heretics is strong. I mean, it all depends, though. If they lose this control that Rienz is holding on to, they'll almost swap positions. They'll isolate Boo, but instead it's Miniboo who's picking up kills. 2 from behind. The backup by Durka. The shots aren't quite hitting, but he gets there eventually. Look, it's manageable. It's winnable. The spike is down, but Durka has ult to try and retrieve it.
That's the last thing that Alpha wanted to do. He was trying to be so sneaky. And then the Neural Theft utilized by Benji to sort of just reveal him in the backlines is the worst possible scenario, and Boo just holding his ground. Good cleanup in the end for Heretics. A 4-1 start on this defensive side, and well, Fnatic didn't have a mass amount invested, but I think there's already going to be some alarm bells ringing with the fact that just the mid-push that came in from Heretics, just the gall to just go walking all the way in towards their spawn. That's got to be frustrating.
I know exactly.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you can see from this perspective, as we started out the round, the attempt to take control, I really enjoy, especially when you've got those weaker weapons. Sending someone up through tube, playing on the back of the trap. This was an idea I don't think we're going to see played out in a full buy round. So it's not the biggest of dangers for me. Now, okay. Ult is used already by Durka. Good information. 2 players spotted towards the A site. Wood already dropped. Now Durka looks to finish that ult. He'll just go into it on site. Not looking to take a fight in the back of it, but they've lost Alfier. Now control falls out of their hand, and the ult from Miniboo is going to confirm all these positions. They will now know, or potentially know, where Boaster is. The Hunter's Fury is thrown through. Miniboo searching for this Viper so they can manage to take down that pit, but there's no chance. The shots have not connected onto the right players. Pit still up. 3 versus 4, although the numbers favor Heretics. Getting through this setup will be very difficult. The flank out of NgtBro perhaps stands a chance of turning the tide of this round. In fact, his position is absolutely perfect. Just seconds ago, Boaster stepped out of this ult. If he does that again, he will be down and out. Hunter's Fury by Leo is good. Takes down Miniboo, but he's last man standing, not able to connect onto Riens to shut him down. And at this point, how can he possibly deny this defuse? He's realized there's no chance. He's getting out.
Yeah, the idea from Fnatic, again, not bad. It was mainly revolving around having either a snake bite or the Viper Spit, which I don't believe is actually covering the spike plant. So the goal would be that they'd be low. I think one of the players was, but the rest were not. So I don't mind the idea, but it didn't quite work out, and they also needed to catch Benji. Like, that was the thing. Him being able to flank and just remove this Viper's Pit completely makes that idea so much more problematic. A 5-1 start for Heretic, a scenario that we've seen many times from Fnatic throughout this season, but the fact is the lower bracket almost seems to await them at this stage, losing that first map in such a close fashion, and right now they've not turned up to the races on map number 2.
Fnatic slow to start. Who would have seen it coming? Is there any way for them to get back into this game? Oh, it might just be over. Things we've said before. Things we've regretted almost immediately. A timeout for Fnatic. Typically where they bounce right back into things. A lot to discuss coming into this round, and well, it is an opportunity for Heretics to run away with things. They've got credits even if they lose to buy right back into it. This is where Fnatic's back is against the wall, but typically that's where they hit hardest.
It's definitely a worry though. Like, if there was any map that I was kind of feeling would go more confidently in a team's favor, it would be this one. One that Heretics really haven't shown much on since their defeat to Vitality. They played it once this stage, once at kickoff, and that's it. We haven't really seen it whatsoever. We've definitely not seen it with Wu. But as always, it seems like he just fits right in. Miniboo, thriving. Riens is having a great game as well, and right now Boaster sat at the top of the board. The majority of his kills coming in the pistol round. Durka, though, it's looking a little bit more disrespectful. The pop flash, oh, just about. He even gets the TP off, but it doesn't matter. He's already dead.
And those numbers way down. You can see
Cage triggered.
good old-fashioned Fnatic pause. Right off rip, able to take some kills, find themselves in a favorable position to close out the round. Now they look to the B site. Now, there is a rotation in play. NgtBro and Woot, 2 very dangerous players occupying this site. Benji's going walkabouts. He wants to come through and clear mid. Boaster's got the angle, a little slow on the reaction, and Benji punishes ×2. Give this man an inch, he'll take a mile, and already making it competitive for Heretics, but still the man disadvantage. The A site open, that's where the spike is going. And now they know where both players are.
Yeah, they've already seen Benji, obviously, just moments ago, and then with Woot being spotted by the drone, that was everything they could have needed. Chronicle somehow still aware, and Woot not going to give it another go, buddy? No. Failed the jump once, you just pretend it didn't happen, walk away.
I didn't even want to jump up there anyway, it's all good.
Yeah, I was just doing that to bait everyone at home.
Head ticking it.
1 versus 3. Spike ticking, fairly far away, and definitely aware that someone is pushed up down here. Even going to pop flash the angle, the read is there, but Leo, crosshair placement, just too good. Fnatic, they take their pause, break straight back. I'll be curious to see now what happens with that middle control, because the last few rounds, Heretics have been able to set up, get their own flashes in, and instead, Fnatic look to directly counter that play. Now, obviously, it was only by a millisecond, so I don't know if they'll shy away from that altogether, but I believe we've seen
Nice,
other teams
boys.
do that,
Really
like
good
go
round.
for a mid play,
Let's go,
it
boys.
not work once, and then just give up on it
Abandon
for the
it.
rest of it.
Yeah, we have for sure. I think the second that your opponent sees you're trying to fight it, that's where they're just going to turn and dump their utility. I think mid is a more favorable fight for attackers typically than if you're sat on the A side having to break through a choke point, or sat on the B side trying to break through a choke point. You know, mid's just that little bit more open, gives you a lot of angles to compete from. You'll see those late lurks out of Alpha as well. That can be a big problem if you are dedicating a lot of manpower and a lot of players to that position. Their team Heretics, they have given it up, conceded completely. But the idea here is that Fnatic will probably go walking up. They'll probably test it again, maybe even do the same swings, the same punishes, and that's where Miniboo, from miles away, can take that pick with the operator. For now, though, a very slow approach to the Fnatic attack, perhaps expecting some aggression. More particularly, Alpha Yair is the one expecting that. This position tucked in the box of elbow, it sometimes just plays no role, takes you out of the action, and that's the end of it, but sometimes it's massive.
Most has placed the wall they used previously for that A take, but he's using it more so as a ruse, trying to even bait him with some steps, and actually he's just peeked and taken out. Miniboo, it's the second time he's TP'd away. Look where the X is on the map. TP'd out but died just before it was available. A little bit unlucky. Benji, though, they walked into his sight.
Oh, he's jumped up though. Just the one kill to be found. Well, the second, I suppose, but the trade out by Rienz, by Woot as well, leaves Chronicle against the world. 1 versus 3. An idea of Woot's position for sure, but Rienz and Boo have repositioned, have made it around to B main, where Chronicle will now have to have a crazy reaction to take both of these players down. They're pushing to go. Oh, no, they've split up. Okay, maybe an opportunity, but jump up top right afterwards. Chronicle doesn't predict it. Boo's able to trade out. Heretics are able to win another round and put a 4-round lead into their back pocket.
Yeah, I think even just again, Benji doing well, like coming out of there with 2 kills when his position was completely known. We saw this just the other day from Fnatic on this map where they were very good at predicting. I think it was Tomazi. They knew exactly where he was, and they were just throwing all of their utility into the back of the site. And that's exactly what happens here, and Benji still comes out with 2 kills. And then just the quick reactions of Rienz and Woot to be there in time.
That was insane by Benji, bro.
Agreed.
Nice!
6 and 2. Fnatic once again left with some weaponry weaknesses. Chronicles had to spread the wealth to get them a couple of guns in, and they do have the ultimate for Durka once again. So that might be an opportunity to at least garner them some extra space.
Wow, my eyes are down.
Decoy's gone running into B. As it went in, rotation from Rienz comes into play. 3 B stack. Much lighter on A. But there's an opportunity for Boo to pick one and reset into it, hiding from this Yoru ult. Durka's spotted him already. He's seen the op in his hands as well. That's a good opportunity for him to take him down. I thought he was going to commit on the back of the flash instead, scouting out the rest of the site now, making his way in. They know they forced Miniboo back. They heard the teleport sound as the gate crash was used over on the stairs. Alpha has to be very careful, and he goes swinging into 3. An easy trade-off, and down goes Durka. Things aren't looking good for Fnatic.
No, they're having opportunities. Alpha looked like he might have hit the timing there, but he doesn't manage to land the shots, and Chronicle even desperately low. They're going to need something truly ridiculous to be able to pull this round back, and they don't even have the utility to do it. The counter flashes from Wu are fantastic. The dart even revealing these close angles. Sure, the snake bites are going down. That will buy a bit of time, even get them an extra kill. And actually, here comes the fight back. Leo with 2. This round should have been all but over. It should have been done. And instead, Wu is going to try and fight forward, try and find Boaster, but look how far back he's sitting. The IGL doesn't want to give him anything, and sure, he'll take the final frag. But at this point, in the 3v5, the round goes to Fnatic again.
Now that's an old school Fnatic round if ever I've seen one. Get the site control, allow them to put the pressure back on, but then in comes your utility, just perfectly timed. Miniboo died, Woot got tagged down low, was vulnerable, couldn't even push into main to take the fights they wanted to because of the vulnerability.
Explain this from Leo.
And then you give Leo a chance to do Leo things. You know, that's what it's all about. You gotta create your own hope. And from the darkness, they've emerged 6-3, round back on the board, competing blow for blow with Heretics now, and a chance to string them together. We said Heretics had a lot of money, a lot of credits. Now that's starting to run a little bit dry after a competitive couple of rounds. Judge in play for Boo, but he's got his Viper's Pit to back him up. Banji Fishy, who has been one of the big hitters for Team Heretics, is left down to a stinger.
Mr. Ratty. B-site defense. This is not a map that normally you get away with using this sort of weaponry.
Take flight.
Drone might put a spanner in the works. It's going to be the judge scene. They know exactly where Boo is. They've still got to find Benji, and they'll know he's here somewhere.
That judge is scaring them. They push the backside instead. Benji's not aware. They're going to go swinging through the nade. There was a small gap allowing them to fight, and the judge just not good on that range. 13 HP on Leo, but it's enough. He'll survive in towards main. Keep that control for them late on into the round. And there's a TP from Miniboo. He's just gone for it, and they didn't hear him, but they've heard him now. Leo's just realized the steps coming through behind him. At least I hope he has. I think he has. Maybe he hasn't.
Not.
No, he didn't. He should have heard those steps. I don't know how Miniboo was able to thread the needle and slip past them. And we know spike plans. This is very dangerous. Everybody's spread out. 25 seconds left and a need to make it towards the site. But with Rian's falling, that should make things a little bit more doable. In fact, okay, the timing not fantastic for Leo here either. He doesn't catch Miniboo rotating. And Tom, to be fair, I'm now a little bit scared. If this position is as much of a surprise as I think it will be, he could grab a pick, and at that point, this round is winnable again.
It does seem like Fnatic are less aware. The problem is he doesn't know how much he's got away with. I think that's the more difficult thing is he may have managed to thread the needle past multiple players, but even still, it's whether or not he'll be able to get 1, 2, 3, and then get out of there with an operator. I'm not so sure. Fnatic are going to take the Alpha got to. Like, he walked all the way into their spawn, basically, to kill Woot in the backlines. And I think that the players with the low weaponry actually did a decent job. It was the rest of them just being sort of caught off by some of the angles that they lost in return. There was a bit more of a problem. Again, Fnatic at a mass deficit of 5-1 down, slowly climbing their way back into the half. Now, the last 2 times they played it, has been dominant attack sides. 10-2 versus Casey, a 6-1 to close out versus Na'Vi. The time before that, they went 9-3 versus Gentlemates, but
were we? Yeah.
Running a Phoenix. So,
not a fan?
No. Not on this map. I'd like them running it on other maps, I'll be honest, but Breeze is optimistic.
It is interesting. It is curious. I'm not sure what the ideas are behind it, but I'm almost certain I hate them. Heretics call a pause. Time to touch base with their coaches. Like we said, Fnatic have been winning the rounds right afterwards, but they're on a 2-round streak now. It's time to put a stop to it. 6-6 half still possible, but Heretics want that lead when they swap sides. Do they have what it takes to get there? In terms of credits, maybe not in this round. 7-5 could be the best thing they can hope for. Miniboo at least still has that operator. Everyone else on Sheriffs, and again, we've already seen rounds like this one, but I do think it's a little different doing it on Lotus than Breeze. You have to have the gamble right on Breeze. The second it comes to retakes, Fnatic should have it in the bag. Not least because of their utility, but even just the range advantages they can hold.
Yes, this should go.
It's gonna be easy.
This goes here.
At this stage, I've learned not to doubt this Heretics roster at any turn. Whoop having a rifle, Miniboo having an op. There's always going to be chances. And again, it's always tougher when you let a lead slip. Especially versus a team like Fnatic. They're never going to be giving up. Boo's definitely given up a bit of information, but I think it was just bait. I almost believe it definitely was bait. Just tap the cage so that he's expecting someone close and then give Whoop the angle. That's already a massive start. Another rifle into their hands and a player dropped their lurker in Alpha, yeah.
This is getting more doable. A Viper's pit for Boo, looming over the round. Fnatic seem to be moving towards him. It's the A site. Gate crash left in towards middle. Maybe Durka is just going to try to take some more space. They've already been spotted. Shot rang out. Boo knows there's players close. Viper's pit's going to be activated on the back of it. Flash is close. Boo doesn't get caught by it. He's got all this control to play with, but there's the TP as they start to look in the other direction, moving it in through these doors. We've seen this wall before. So have Heretics. They know what it means, what it often means at least. Good nade. It's actually forced Boo out of the ult, but they don't expect that. He goes swinging into them, finds one, and he's back in safety. And with a shot from Benji, Fishy, the only man standing is Leo. A demon in clutches. but he's got so much to fight through, and the first shot is the one that seals it. Benji fishy on the Sheriff. Picking up 2 in a round like this, so valuable, as Heretics now find themselves 7-4 up.
Yeah, I think also credit needs to be given to Boo. The beginning of the round,
100%.
just baiting for his teammate to give him the firefight versus Alpha. The Viper's pit, just being forced out of it, but finding value nonetheless. And while Benji's there to hit a couple of shots at the end, it's going to be 7-4. Half at least is going in their favor. And as said, from what we've seen recently, Fnatic have been troublesome when it comes to that attack side. Now they're the ones with some vulnerabilities, but they have a fair few ults.
You just heard the call there from Miniboo as well. He's confirming, I don't know if it was his call in the first place, but an elbow pushes to come through. Decoy is the one leading the charge, but then they swing from the other angle. Nobody's here. Although they don't get to execute a play off the back of it, they do get the information early. It's going to mean those snake bites come through a little bit earlier as well. Try to delay this squad from taking space, but Durka can do it all by himself. Gate crashing in, finding the plant.
no.
Never mind. Denial at the last possible second from Woot. Just about finding that. Denying the post-plant Viper's Pit, post-plant Hunter's Fury. And now Alphayear's caught on the lurk, trying to make up for lost ground. This is a beautiful stance to play from. Ult used by Miniboo, he even gate crashes in, and he's good for the kill as well. Chronicle walked all over, and so too is Leo. Boaster doesn't stand a chance. And the lead now for Heretics, what could have been a 6-6 half. What should have been, perhaps, with the last round being Sheriffs, is now double the scoreline of their opponents, with an Andalucia flawless, the cherry on top.
Yeah, a spot in the second final they'll have this year regionally is on the cards if they're able to close this one out. Of course, it's always easier said than done. They've done that last round as an Andalucia flawless as well, but...
He hit him with the nade. That's what gave away where he's... Oh, that's ridiculous. Or was it the corner?
I'm not even sure if at the end, Miniboo even knew where he was.
Just spray in. See if I get it.
boys.
Completely lost in it, but here we go. Fnatic again, fighting from a deficit. The last map. An OT thriller, this one looking more dominant for Heretics. If there isn't a turnaround, it has to start with a pistol. They won both when it came to Lotus, still lost the map. They've lost the first one on this.
Orb emitting. Poison's off.
Durka may have been spammed down through the smoke last round. He wasn't happy about that. He's gone walking through it in this. The pistol round, defensive side. Sees aggression from Fnatic towards A main. Double push on Halls, and nothing found. Again, that early aggression, finding them at least some information that they can now quickly begin to flank on, but with mid control going this way for Team Heretics.
Just nervous about Boo.
That's the spike. That's the spike, and it's dropped.
That's the spike down. That's such a problem already for them. They need Rians to fight back, and he's got to be careful because now there's another player looking to round the corner. It's definitely not the cleanest to fight, but he is able to hold on. Somehow, the Woods just got walking into the site. The spike has been taken, or at least it was for a second. Rians is still alive. He's on just 4 HP. And they don't know where Leo is. He's still looking to come up around the corner. Timing here is going to be absolutely everything. He's heard the steps. Knows that they're going back towards the site. They're still clearing everything else along the way, which will give a little bit of time. And more importantly, what is that? I don't know how Rians is still alive, but more importantly, he's put Leo to an even lower health than he is. They're looking to try and fight him, or at least reposition to get back into a better spot. Woot taking the aggressive position to try and kill him off early. And now this round looks all but done. The shot connected. 4 HP versus 3. Leo to try and turn things back from what looked like an impossible position just seconds ago. The shot done could be what ends it because he's normally so good with these, but Rians has managed to dodge it and lands the shot in the end. He should have died about 6 times in this round, but he'll survive.
A Jim West round from Team Heretics. Swinging through on those Sheriffs. Kill after kill found, and I mean, this started by them losing the spike. A lot of damage being done, and players on Fnatic just shredded. That walkthrough from Woot is unreal. How he finds that much value, I don't think I'll ever know. And that was a headshot through the wall. And then a headshot not through the wall to finish him off. That's got to be a frustrating way to let that one slip, but for Fnatic, I'll say commiserations, because that's a round that you can't really do a lot about when they're hitting shots like that on Los Niños.
Turkish aim again. 9 and 4. Heretics
Right here.
4 rounds away from making it to a final. A bit of an awkward fight to start, but Leo shouldn't be getting away with too much here. Doesn't have much support. Not a whole lot invested either. And one of the biggest surprise, Alfie really has been having a rough time this map.
They've shut him down again and again. He won't be catching that kill as they fade behind the wall, and although a headshot's eventually delivered.
I heard Benji make that call on the stage. I heard him go, bit, like just screaming.
I guess he was jump peeking, right?
Yeah,
So he just caught him. The panic coming through.
He's so loud that I could hear him through the headphones.
Let's hope he's not making the start around calls. Oh, Fnatic have stuck B for some reason. I wonder why. Well, the plans come through. NgtBro low on HP and caught by Leo, but it draws him into the open. An easy trade, and all it does is delay the inevitable. A round win, double digits for Team Heretics.
Planted.
And dare I say it, a tough score line to come back from on the side of Fnatic if Chronicle cannot find this 1v3. Even if it can, still going to be 9-5 at this stage. So many players to take down, so much time left. So little time, rather, left to do it. I believe he'll just be playing the exits if he even gets a chance. Angle held and swung on by Boom. Nicely done, double digits for Team Heretics. This is Fnatic's map pick, Tom. I don't want to get ahead of myself. With any other team, I would. But at 10-4, it is looking spooky. I'll say that.
It's looking done.
No, Tom, we did this yesterday. We literally were here yesterday.
I'm not going to change. I'm not going to change my thought process. They can prove me wrong again.
Let's
it's
go,
looking
boys.
done.
How many times do they need to do it, Tom?
Every time.
Every time.
Every time. From this scoreline, they need to do it every time because it is absurd. The way that Heretics are playing right now, they look like the better team. 10-4 up.
Poison orb emitting.
Looking to get themselves almost confirmation. Like, if this round is lost by Fnatic, oh, you're going to need one of the best pauses you've ever seen. Because I don't know if I can truly believe that the players on the Heretic side won't be able to squeak through an extra couple of rounds. Trying to destroy some utility, but nothing there this time. In fact, as usual, it's Durka taking a little bit of early aggression. But all of that was just a ruse, an attempt to try and sell a fake, as they do look to head towards this B site in the end.
Yeah, it looks like Fnatic are stacking up for some A aggression. It's coming in at the wrong time. Maybe it'll get them somewhat of an early flank, but not at this stage. Heretics set their sights on B. Knife goes into the back, doesn't catch anyone. Traps will still be online. Snakebite in from Boaster. Lets them know that he's here as well. You're running into a Cypher and Viper setup. It's going to be tough to break this defense. That was committal from NgtBro, not a fake gate crash. In fact, he's all the way through, but the flash, poorly timed, gives Fnatic a way back in. Benji fishy. Okay, he's good for one, but the flash gets him. The decoy doing its job. Woot, last man standing. A reliable player in clutch situations, and the shots don't hit for Alpha. A very tough game indeed. The 3K for Woot just around the corner, and it's Chronicle standing in his way with 15 seconds left, but only one bullet needed. A Red Bull clutch and an 11-4 lead for Heretics.
That's the difference between the two. Benji's going, come on, we got to do our little fist bumps, and Woot's going, I want the orb from the plant. Like, that is a man that is locked in right now. He knows he's getting his ult from this. A Red Bull clutch, and that's the thing. Every single piece of information was there. They used the cam to reveal him. They knew exactly where he was coming from, and just the shot's not connected from Alpha yet.
So
this has been one of the roughest games I've seen from him in a long time, but the shots we're seeing out from Heretics, the ability of this young man. In week 2, he got his visa. During Madrid, he turned 18, just old enough to play in the league. And right now, top fragging versus Fnatic on a map he's yet to play with this team.
Yeah.
And if they win it, they're in the grand final.
And for Fnatic, I don't know how many Uncle Eero quotes they read to make these comebacks happen, but now they'll be thinking of life like a tunnel. You might not always see the light at the end, but you keep moving. You'll end up in a better place than where you were. That's their hope. 4 rounds on the board for the defensive side. 1 opening pick secured. Chronicle looking for that little bit more. The timing almost got him, but Alpha's able to deal death from afar. Shots for NgtBro, eventually correct. He's on 16 HP, but I wouldn't count him out just yet. Hunter's Fury put through, and it's huge! So much damage, and still chasing down more! NgtBro, ult on site. He's got the info to play with the deep flash. He sees the defuse. It's been started. In fact, it's already halfway. They'll see that rising 5 HP on Rien's shock dart through. It's close, so it doesn't catch Leo, and he doesn't get a chance to fire the next, but NgtBro somehow has found a third kill on low HP. The gate crash reposition, perfect, and Boaster now running low on time, low on HP, and low on chances with Boo right around the corner. 12-4, and one of the most impressive comebacks needed for Fnatic to even buy a third map in this series.
No, it's not happening. It's not happening. The way that Heretics are playing, every single time they've needed it, the star lights up the sky. This round, NgtBro was running riot with a little bit of support from Rienz as well. These rookies, these players who weren't even close to the league last year, some of them weren't even making it to Ascension. You're talking about the likes of Woot, didn't get there. 16, 16, and 15 kills, leading their way on Breeze. And they have 8 chances to make it to that grand final, to show that the new era of EMEA Valorant sits with them, as it will be back-to-back finals within the region. And it was said earlier in the day, an expectation, I think it was from Almapuddy, who he thinks he'll play if they are in the grand final. He said it'd be Heretics again. I don't know if he would have expected to be able to lose again to this game, but it'll be them who has to try and grind their way back through, because they need so much more from this.
Seems moments away from welcoming Almapuddy and the boys to that lower bracket run. For Fnatic, strange territory they find themselves in. The old guard, and well, it's time to change. 8 rounds in it, 8 in a row. Bloody tough comeback for any team to make. And with Benji Fishy having thread the needle all the way through. It's a disastrous start to what needed to be the beginning of that comeback. Benji's looking for more. He doesn't want to get greedy though. Waiting for the wall to go up, for the info to come in and his teammates to burst through to the site. Gate crash used, NgtBro's here, and Woot's just waltzed in, finding himself Boaster, the leader, dead. And now, well, he could call from the grave, I suppose, but Fnatic need a lot more than that. A few well-placed shots could get them back through. They've done it millions of times. I've seen it again and again. But here, it's not looking too likely.
Chance is slim. And with the way that they've been playing in these afterplants, it's barely an afterplant at all. Woot wanted to take it into his own hands, and even then he's done damage. It leaves just 2 standing in the way of Heretics, and another grand final, and those players aren't even gonna get close. It ends up as a slaughter on Breeze. This map was picked by Fnatic, but it was dominant from the side of Heretics. A well-deserved grand final, and they'll get a second bite of the cherry here in EMEA.
Los Niños do it again. This time upsetting the best of the best, our region's only hope at times in the past. But the flame has changed hands, and now they carry the torch. Benji Fishy, a man many people doubted out there. This roster was doubted from its very conception. But here they are, and there they go, straight to grand finals as Fnatic are welcomed with open arms to that lower bracket. I pity whoever comes up against them, because this isn't Fnatic on their A game. This is Heretics bringing a new style to the stage, and my God, it's beautiful to watch.
Well, that's the thing. I think the most impressive thing with this is Woot coming in. I think he didn't play for the first couple of weeks due to visa issues. Thank you to Paddy for sort of like filling his spot. He definitely did a great job, but there is a reason. People were worried. They were going, is he going to be as good? He's up there at the top of the board. The individual brilliance he brings alongside that initiation for the squad. And honestly, this team can go anywhere. They're a squad of young superstars, solid leadership, and I think a lot of credit to the coaching staff as well. They've been fantastic all season just to make this one work. Because the fact is, they've come up against pretty much everything. School had to be called into question. You had to talk about the fact that players were still having trouble with visas, not being old enough. And with all of that, they still made it to the grand final. With all of that, they're in there as favorites.
I just want to see Boo give us a little smile to the camera. That's all I want. You're in the grand finals again, Boo. What a surprise showing on this final map, because even if you came in today expecting Heretics to win, if you're Spanish, you didn't expect 13-4, not on Fnatic's map pick of all. It can be hard to bounce back from those long series with some tech pauses in there as well. It ran to like an hour 25 from when they step foot on the stage to when they lose that map for Fnatic. That's tough, but this is a team that I don't even begin to question the mental. Oh, can they bounce back from it? Will they be sad that they lost? No, this is Fnatic. It's one of the best in the world. It's a team that doesn't get down and out. But now they are down to the lower bracket. Not out of chances, not out of Shanghai, but out of luck this time. Heretics have taken it, and it's time to hear from Rienz about just how they made that happen.
It is indeed. Thank you so much. Once more, give it up, of course, for Team Heretics. Rienz coming in here with what a performance from you and the team going up against Fanatics. Let's talk about what we just saw, starting on Lotus. Because quite frankly, you guys had the odds stacked against you. You were behind early on, but then somehow you brought it back. How did you rally the troops? How did you get back into that map?
So I think last couple of days we are always like